Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Welcome to the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, a show where I interview guests that teach, motivate, and inspire. Today, I am joined by singer-songwriter, country music star, Lena Paige. We're going to be talking to her.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. You got several songs that have hit the charts. We're going to be talking about, you know, how Ronnie Millsap's daughter wanted you to re-record a song that he done and everything that you're up to and how you got started. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Why don't you start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am Lena Paige, and I live in Franklin, Tennessee. I started writing music with my mom when I was 15 years old. Before that, I had been in several competitions throughout the state of Washington. My mom is originally from Kentucky, Henderson, Kentucky. And she is the niece of Merle Travis. So Merle Travis invented the Travis picking style that you hear like on Kansas, Dust in the Wind. He wrote 16 tons and what do you get? You know, another day older and deeper in debt. He wrote that. He was a major inspiration to Chet Atkins. Chet Atkins developed his style of guitar playing around Merle Travis, and Tommy Emmanuel also fashioned his way of guitar around Merle Travis. So I come from a long line of musicians. Unfortunately, I didn't pick up the Travis picking style, but I began singing pretty young, and I started doing backup vocals for my mom, and then moved to Nashville back in 2003 and started doing backup vocals and session work and touring for different people. So that's kind of where I got started in Nashville.
Well, you've also toured with a lot of international artists as well, so kind of tell us about that.
Well, I toured internationally with Gilly Larson. He was a country singer. He's passed away since, but toured with him in Norway. And probably the greatest achievement was my mom and I wrote, the very first song we wrote was Roses in December. And that song kind of self-promoted itself. I put it out on Facebook and Instagram and Reverb Nation, Deezer, all of those platforms, Spotify, iTunes, and didn't really promote it a lot because I was promoting another song that I was told was more commercial in the US here. But people in Europe heard Roses in December, and it actually made it to number 6 in the top 10 country songs for the year of 2020 in all throughout Europe. So BBC Radio contacted me and interviewed me over the phone, and it was really fun because that was the first song that my mom and I had written together. So it was pretty incredible.
Okay, tell us about some of your musical influences. Who influences you that people will recognize that make you do what you do?
Well, goodness, I had a lot because I loved everything. I'm extremely eclectic in my genres of music. But because my mom wrote traditional country music was really a foundation for my music that I loved. So growing up, I listened to Dolly Parton and Patsy Cline and Kitty Wells and Hank Williams and just the very Gene Watson, a lot of the older style, Willie Nelson, But then my dad liked Gordon Lightfoot and, like the Eagles. And so I grew up listening to like things like that as well. And then I really grew to love like old R&B, I guess like Etta James, and I loved singing the blues. So then when Susan Tedeschi and Derek Trucks, they came out, I love that style of blues as well. But I sang a lot. I sang with a funk band once. And I've sang with all different genres, I guess. So I had a lot of influences all over the map. I can't really say that I had one in particular, except I guess my mom. My mom was my major influence because we wrote together all the time.
Okay, so tell us about the new songs, Civil War, and how Ronnie Millsap's daughter came to you and wanted you to record it.
Okay. Well, actually, Civil War started. I had never heard this song before, and I don't think a lot of people have heard this song before. It was on Ronnie Millsap's album in 1993, and he was promoting probably one of his 50 number one hits or 60 number one hits, whatever he's had. He's just amazing, and he was a huge influence in my life as well. But living in Franklin, Tennessee, I run into a lot of celebrities, and like Winona Judd lives down the street, and golly, there's Vince Gill and Amy Grant, and Jamie Johnson, and Leanne Womack, and we have a famous writer that lives literally across the street. So I run into these people all the time. And I ran into Yogi Millsap, who is Ronnie Millsap's daughter-in-law. And we became friends, and she came over to the house and she said, I would love for you to cut this song that Ronnie did. It's written by Carol Chase and Cindy Richardson, and it's called Civil War. And I thought, okay, well, I'll listen to it. I've never cut anybody else's songs before, so I didn't know, if I should do that, or what the process was, getting mechanical rights and doing all of that. So I listened to the song and I fell in love with it. The lyrics are amazing. The melody is amazing. They did such an incredible job of a play on words in this song. And so I called Yogi and I said, I'm going to cut this song. And she said, oh, that's great. I'm super excited. And so I went to Kent Wells, who is Dolly Parton's producer. He's also my producer. He produces all of my music. And he said, yeah, you definitely have to cut this song. It's your song. And so I said, okay, cool. So I contacted, so we cut it. And then I had to get mechanical rights to put it on my album. So I contacted Yogi and I said, I don't know how to get a hold of Cindy Richardson or Carol Chase. And she said, oh, here's their phone numbers. And she gave me their numbers. And so I contacted them directly and just asked if I could release it. And they said, absolutely. I sent them a copy of it. And I said, do you have your permission? And they said, yes, absolutely, go for it. So that was just a thrill. I was super excited, super honored. And so now it's out in the world, and I'm praying that it does really, really well. I did Joan of Arkansas with Tanya Tucker. That was one of my cuts. And I also did You Ain't No Match, was one that I kind of promoted. I may bring that song back out to life again here pretty soon, but it's all going. My second album is called Singin' in the Key of Country, and that's coming out as soon as I gain some traction on Civil War. I'm going to put out my second album, and the song that I'm going to be promoting is called Invisible Tears, and it's the last song that my mom wrote before she passed away, and she just passed away in November. So the song is very, very sentimental to me. So I'm looking forward to doing that, and we're working on a video for that song as well. But back to Civil War. It's an incredible song, and we're super happy about it, and I hope everybody loves it.
Absolutely. Tell us about other upcoming projects that you're working on that listeners need to be aware of.
Probably just my new album coming out, Singing in the Key of Country. It's I think I have it all completely done. I'm looking to do a duet on one of the songs that my mom and I wrote called Best Lovin' Around, and did a duet with a young man, but it was kind of a demo style, so I'd like to get back in the studio and record it. And I'm also looking for new co-writers. I'm co-writing on tomorrow with Paul Rock, who has a hearty, I think he's got a hearty cut. Don't quote me on that, but he's got a cut out right now, and it's doing really well. And so he's going to come over to the house on Saturday and write a new idea that I have. I'm super excited about it.
Okay, so listeners can keep up with everything that you're up to. Throw out your contact info.
So to keep up with me, you know how Facebook works. They're terrible. They somebody had 9.2 thousand followers, and somebody reported my Facebook as spam, so I had to start completely over again. So I'm no longer Lena Paige. I'm Lena Paige Music. So if you add music in there, that helps. It's Lena Paige Music, and I'm on Facebook, Spotify, TikTok, not Spotify, Instagram. But if you want to listen to my music, I'm on Spotify and iTunes, Pandora, all of the majors, all the major platforms.
All right, close us out with some final thoughts. Maybe if there was something I forgot to talk about that you would like to touch on, or any final thoughts you have for the listeners.
Well, I just want to thank everybody. I really do. Without you guys, I could not continue to sing and do what I do. I could, but I love it when I'm performing and I'm looking down the crowd and everybody knows the words to the songs, and it's so heartwarming to me. And my mom, like I said, she just passed away, and it was such a thrill for her as well. My goal was to make it to the Grand Ole Opry before she passed away, but that didn't happen. But I'd still love to make it to the Grand Ole Opry today, someday, and I cannot do that without my fans. And so I'm praying that everybody comes together and they love the songs and love my music and get me to the Grand Ole Opry, because I am traditional country and love traditional country. I believe that it's coming back again. And so I'm promoting that. Let's all band together and start listening to independent artists or artists that are really promoting traditional country music and getting that genre back on its feet again. That would be so incredible for everybody.
Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Check out Lena Paige Music. Absolutely. Please be sure to follow, rate, review, share this episode to as many people as possible. Check out Lena's music. Jump on your favorite podcast app. Give us a follow, a review. If you have any guest or suggestion topics, Curtis Jackson 1978 at att.net is the place to send them. As always, thank you for listening and supporting the show. And Lena, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Curtis.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.